how were you able to function at such a high level while drinking so much and doing so many drugs?
Well, I've got a good brain, and I always knew when to pull it back. I always knew when to stop, honestly. I mean, there were moments when, I looked pretty beat up, but I could always, kind of pull myself together enough to, have a semblance of acumen and talent and performance. So it was never
Hmm.
that far out of my reach. So, it's sort of like I've raced cars a little bit, a long time ago. Um,
You
yeah,
have?
but the thing that I didn't do was I didn't go to the place where I knew I wasn't safe. And I think that was an indication of who I actually am.
Oh,
I always knew that I was
okay.
able to put it down. There was a moment when I'd say, okay, that's enough now. Go get some rest.
Was was there someone like who you worked with, either on the Cheers? I think this is mostly during the Cheers years,
Yeah.
but you
Well,
correct me if I'm wrong.
there was a real section during Frasier when I needed to take some time off. That was when it kind of really came to a head because I mean suddenly I was making an extraordinary amount of money and I still felt like I needed to apologize for that on some level. And of course, the world around us says you need to apologize for being successful, which seems absolutely ridiculous. This is America, for God's sakes, which may
Hmm.
explain point toward some of my politics. Uh, we need not be embarrassed by success. We need not be shamed by it.
No,
And it seems that that's
we
part
like
of,
winning on the right side.
yeah, yeah. That seems that's sort of what's going on. But I'm trying to get back to my thread on that.
Well, was there some? I was going to ask you, was there somebody
Oh,
who
somebody.
was
Yes, well,
able to
certainly,
reach you at all, or
the
somebody
folks
who really
at
pushed you
Cheers.
to put it down? And
Yeah, the folks at Cheers
go
said,
ahead.
look, it's time to kind of, step away from it. I said, okay. I did that for a while and uh, had a few good years of clean living. Well, not exactly clean, but clean-ish living, and a
Hmm.
couple of messed up relationships, but a couple of good ones. So there were some decent people around. Um, I liked and I still like interaction with people. I mean, that's the greatest source for me of all experience is the fact that you know people and watch them and that's where I did my training. My training actually has just been in, observing the human condition and the way people behave.
Yep.
And that's what you
Great
character. That's
actors and
what you,
great writers.
yeah. And great writers.
Same thing.
Good. Yeah.
So, did you ever have a tawdry love affair with Shelley Long or Kirstie Alley or BB Newirth? Come on, spill the tea.
No, you know what? It's never really a good idea to have tawdry love affairs with people you're working with.
No, it's not a good
It's,
idea, but that's not a denial.
it's not a denial, but no, I never did know. It's funny, I didn't get to know Shelley very well because she left really after I got to the show a couple of years later. She went off after the fifth season, and that's when Kirstie came on the show, and that's when I realized when Kirstie
Mm,
made her first appearance in the show, and I was watching, I thought to myself, "Boy, this show's going to be successful for a while. She's great." And I got to know her pretty well,
mm-hmm.
and I always loved Kirstie. I think she's one of the funniest people that ever lived. I was devastated by her premature demise. I mean, just for her to go the
Yeah,
way she went, it just was like, oh, come on. She was
it
always
was
such a
shocking.
light, and and um, she was a kind of ecstatic person. She would live uh, in a silliness about her. I mean, she did that. I don't know if this would ever go anywhere anymore, but at one point she stood all the men on Cheers up against the bar, and she said, "I'm going to guess which of you has the biggest package." But she was unflappable. And of course, we all, said, okay, well, what the heck? It's just, it was a different time, though.
Which either makes you feel really, really proud or really nervous,
Yeah, no, I know,
depending on
right?
what
You didn't
category you're
want
in.
that eye looking sort of askance at you, yeah. But she was a riot, and it was always in good fun. She was celebratory and fun, and she went up and down and but always funny. It was Kirstie who told me that when you go on like a show like Carson or something like that, and of course I missed Carson. Jay Leno was his first year, and I thought, okay, but she said just make up somebody, pretend you're somebody else. Kirstie, I
Hmm.
said that's exhausting. I'll never be able to keep
That's
track for one thing. So
I think she gave that same advice to Brian Williams of NBC News,
she
and that
did
would
not
come
do
back
him
to
so
haunt
well,
him.
did it?
But
In the
no,
end,
no.
sort of
So,
bit him on the
so
the.
sure did. So then you wind up doing the spinoff of Cheers, which is Frasier, which is, I mean, just as big, if not bigger, a hit, ran for the same, another decade. And one of the reasons why I'm so surprised to learn that you love race cars is because my favorite episode of Frasier, it is the one, I've mentioned it on the show multiple times, and my whole family can recite it start to finish, is you and your brother Niles, who are these, very uptight, priggish socialite men, both psychiatrists, not men's men at all, much to the chagrin of their man's man father, decide you have to go to auto mechanic class.
I saw that show the other day.
It's the greatest. I had my team pull a small clip for the audience that hasn't seen it. Here's just a tad.
No one else wore them in gym class either, but then Tommy Fritz scratched his cornea, and then they were mandatory. Give me that wrench. Give me that wrench. I'm telling you, it's on too tight.
Here, I'll just try to loosen it up.
Whoa! Remember, spark plugs come out with a simple twist and pull. Twist and pull. Give it a try.
Oh!
Okay, that's called stripping it.
Wow. Good job, Frasier. Here, let me strip one.
No. Stripping it means breaking it. Watch me.
So you twist and then pull. You see, I was twisting and pulling simultaneously. As per your instructions, twist and pull.
Yeah. In the future, the phrase twist then pull might help.
Look, fellas, maybe that's enough for one night, but why don't you come in a little early next week and I'll try to get you caught up to everyone else. I've got a feeling you guys are going to be my special project.
And then you realize you were the remedial students.
Yes, that was a nightmare.
Unusual.
Yeah, for those boys, it was not a good thing to be the remedial students. I loved that guy.
So, but that was real acting, because do you know your way around an engine?
Well, actually, I do. This was one of my come to Jesus moments in my career when I realized, as I was changing my own oil after I was on television, I thought to myself, you know what? There are people who make their living doing this. I'm depriving them of their living while I'm making mine. So I started thinking I should get my oil changed by a professional.
That is exactly the storyline of the auto mechanic episode, where the two guys eventually realize that they're stealing jobs from very good auto mechanics and really should leave this class ASAP.
Yeah, I really, it was a real thing for me, because I grew up looking after my mom's cars, my grandmother's cars. I'd always change the oil, change the plugs, sometimes set the timing. There was different things. You set the gap on the plug. There's all sorts of stuff we used to do that you don't have to do anymore, because we had carburetors then. And now it's fuel injection.
You're speaking Greek to me.
Yeah, okay.
I don't even know if the engine of my car is in the front or the back.
I was very proud to do them and look after things in the house. It was my job. I was the man of the family, and so it just carried on into my life a bit longer than maybe most.
So did you maintain a friendship with David Hyde Pierce, who played Niles?
We're still friends. Yeah. It's a good relationship. David's in New York. He's sort of become the maven of Broadway theater.
Yeah, I've seen him.
I've stayed over here on the West Coast, but I've gone over to New York once in a while. And I did a movie with Charles Durning several years back, a couple of decades now, I guess. But and I said, what do you like to do to keep things sharp, keep things focused? He said, well, I try to do a play every year for at least 6 weeks. It's like you do an out of town play somewhere, and you'd probably take off a month or two to keep the engine running, to keep the senses honed. And I thought, well, every year is going to be too hard to manage for me. Too many responsibilities. But I did try to do every 5 years, and I think I've kind of stuck with that. I'm a little late right now. This little phase in my life, I think it's about time for me to go do a play again. But we'll see.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There is a never-ending list of reasons that gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. and a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.